think my sister and my husband might be having an affair. I have no proof, just a gut feeling. And I don't really know what to do with that. Yesterday, we were at a family function. Dinner and drinks, a normal thing for our family. I noticed that my husband was on his phone so much more than usual. And I noticed this because I was jealous, because he was giving his phone so much attention. And every time he looked down at it, every time it buzzed, he smiled at his phone as if he was showing it affection. Like it was that kind of smile. And I was jealous, so I noticed. And then not long after that, I noticed that my sister was also on her phone a lot. I was watching. As one phone would buzz, one of them would pick it up, look at it, smile affectionately, type something back, put it down. The other phone would buzz. They would pick it up, look at it, smile affectionately, type something back, put it down. And it kept going. At no point did their phones buzz at the same time. It was just constant. As soon as one put it down, the other one buzzed. In that moment, I tried to step out of, I guess, this suspicious little bubble that I was in. I tried to think really realistically and think, my husband and my sister are not going to be sleeping together. That is ridiculous. But then I saw something. I saw something that I cannot make sense of. My sister's phone buzzed. She read something, she smiled, and then she looked up. And at that exact time, my husband looked up, almost as if to check her reaction. And I saw them catch eyes, and I recognised it. I recognised that look. It was flirty and it was lusty. It was the look you give each other at the beginning, when things are exciting and new, you know? I didn't say anything. What was I going to say? Cause a big scene over a look? But right then I knew that as soon as he was asleep that night, I was going to check his phone. And I did. As soon as he fell asleep, I took his phone into the bathroom and I locked the door because I did not want to be disturbed. I went straight to his messages. And I did not find a single message between him and my sister. Not a single message. We have recently moved into a new house, my husband and I. And I know that he messaged my sister because she has a husband who is a man with a van and we wanted to borrow that van. I asked my husband to message my sister just to confirm details, timings, etc. The messages were gone. Everything had been deleted. Which kind of already feels like proof to me. But I know it's not enough. In their eyes, I'm going to have nothing. Not a single shred of proof to back up what I'm saying. I'm just working on a gut feeling that isn't going away. And I feel like I'm losing my mind because I'm having to carry on a normal life right now. I don't feel like I can just outright ask them, are you having an affair? Are you sleeping with my sister? Are you sleeping with my husband? I can't do that. I need to have something to back it up. So what can I do? How can I confirm my suspicions whilst being discreet enough that if I'm wrong, I'm not going to get in trouble, you know? So, since the family function, I've been toying with a lot of different ideas. I've been looking into a lot of different things and kind of settled on a spy camera. The plan was to plan a day out with my friend, actually go out with my friend. I would have the Ring doorbell to see who was coming in and out. Obviously, I know he could disable that, but I would set up a secret spy camera. That was the plan. Until the next day when my sister showed up unannounced. She showed up to drop me my coat back, which I'd left at the family function, which sounds lovely, really nice of her, right? Except my sister is not the kind of person who does anything unless there's something in it for her. So she turns up to drop my coat back wanting nothing in return. That is not normal for her. Not to mention the fact that she is completely done up to the nines. She's got heels on, her makeup and hair is immaculate, and her cleavage is out. Well, I decided I need to stop waiting for the evidence to just land in my lap. I need to stop waiting for something to happen in front of me because it's obviously not going to. I need to go out and find the evidence. So at work, we have an on-call phone. And every weekend, somebody is on call. They take that phone home. This weekend, although it wasn't my turn, I offered to be on call. I volunteered myself. And of course, it was snapped up because no one wants to be on call for the weekend. I obviously had ulterior motives. I took the phone home. So last night, when my husband was asleep, I took his phone, I deleted my sister's number, and I saved my work number on his phone under her name. And now I guess we just wait. Because if he texts her, well, he won't be texting her, will he? He'll be texting me. Basically, what I've done is I've swapped my sister's phone number for my work phone number in my husband's phone. And I was waiting to see if he would message her when I left. And I didn't have to wait very long, because as soon as I left, this guy messaged. So his first message, are you going to find another excuse to come and see me today? I can only assume that that refers to her bringing my coat round the other day. So it was an excuse to see him. Obviously, this is me answering him, so I'm trying to get a little bit of information. So I said, do you want me to? He came back with, you know what I want. Now, at this point, I was pretty sure I did know what he wants, but I needed to hear it. I needed to see it from him. So I said, tell me. And I'm sure you don't need me to read it for you, but he said, you. How do you expose people like this? How do you expose two of the people that you thought you could trust above everybody else? Your sister and your husband. I'm not even sure where to go from here. I thought I would feel empowered in this moment because I'm right. I am right. I'm not crazy. So with this new outlook, with this new empowered feeling, because I am a strong woman, he deserves revenge. He deserves huge, dramatic revenge. So I invited both of our families over to my house last night. The message said, everybody needs to be here. I have an important announcement. So everybody turns up. And at some point I realise, I think everybody's expecting a pregnancy announcement. Well, it's certainly not that. So once everybody's in, everybody's got a drink, everybody's settled, I tap my spoon on the glass and I stand up. My husband looks so excited. I truly, truly believe that he thought it was a pregnancy announcement as well. I stood up and I raised my glass to my husband and my sister. Everybody looked so confused, and whilst they was all trying to work that out, because I wasn't about to stand and explain anything, that was down to him, I was putting my coat on. I then marched right up to my sister's husband and handed him a ticket. Oh, did I forget to mention, I cleared our bank account a few hours before and I bought 2 tickets to Mexico. So I guess we'll just wait and see if he turns up. So picture this. I'm sitting on the plane and the adrenaline of everything that I've just done has worn off. Reality is hitting hard. I have just invited my sister's husband on a 3-month trip with me to Mexico. And now I'm sitting on the plane with absolutely no idea if he's going to turn up or not. As what I thought was the last group of people got on the plane, I thought they were about to shut the doors. He rushes on. He looks dishevelled, like he's just packed up in a hurry. And as he gets closer, I feel myself getting nervous. I've known this man for many years, but I've only ever looked at him as my sister's husband. To be honest with you, I've barely even looked at him until now. He sat down, and all I could notice was how chiselled his jaw was, how strong his hands look, and then when he turned to look at me, how deep his eyes bored into my soul. His arm brushed against mine and sent all kinds of shivers down my body. The first thing he said to me, "So we're really doing this?" I guess we are. I'll be honest with you. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. This is so out of character for me. But what I do know is this situation that I'm in feels good. And I'm so excited to see what happens on this holiday.
Everyone thinks I'm the villain for ghosting my childhood best friend after being the maid of honor in her wedding, so I'm here to spill the real tea. So me and this girl, let's call her Maddie, have been best friends since elementary school. I mean, we were having sleepovers every weekend, knew everything about each other. At one point, we even thought getting matching tattoos would be a good idea. Spoiler, that was not a good idea. Everyone knows that Maddie's the type of person that sometimes is kind of out of pocket, doesn't have a filter, and can say things that are pretty hurtful, but I love her so much. I know that she means well, so I never really took anything personally. Maddie gets engaged and asks me to be a maid of honor, and obviously I say yes, and I'm so excited. But Maddie started treating me like an employee instead of her friend. For almost 2 years, I would spend at least 5 hours a week doing something for this wedding, which wasn't an issue to me because, again, I love Maddie, she's my best friend, and I was excited for her wedding. The issue was that she wanted my entire life to revolve around her wedding. There were countless times that she would just call me in the middle of the day wanting to brainstorm something for the wedding, and I would text her and be like, "Hey girl, sorry, can't talk right now, I'm working. Can I call you later?" And she would absolutely lose it on me, saying that I wasn't prioritizing her wedding, that I was a bad maid of honor. I was like, "Girl, it's like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm working. Let me call you like dinner time and we can have this conversation." Maddie decided that she didn't want to hire a wedding planner, so instead I would just be her wedding planner, even though I've been to like 2 weddings in my entire life, and I was responsible for finding all of the different caterers and the florists and setting up everything. She just kept telling me that that's what maid of honors traditionally do, and I'd never been a maid of honor, so I didn't know any better. I now know that that is not normal. I should not be planning the entire wedding myself. If I ever made a suggestion she didn't like, she'd always be so condescending. She'd be like, Kels, it is so clear how single you are. You've obviously never even been close to getting married because you know nothing about planning a wedding. Yeah, I do know nothing about planning a wedding, so plan your own wedding. It wasn't even just me she was being horrible to. She was being terrible to everybody in her wedding. For example, one of the only things that she took care of 100% by herself was picking out the bridesmaids' dresses, which would be the one thing you think you would get bridesmaids' opinions on. She sends a link to this dress in the bridesmaids group chat, and it is an $1,800 dress. And it's one of these dresses that it looks like a bridesmaid's dress. You could not just wear this to other occasions. Maddie's like, okay, girls, you need to order these by the end of the week so that they come in time because they're custom made. Yeah, they better be custom made for how expensive they are. And 3 of the bridesmaids came to me separately saying that they just didn't have the budget to spend that much on a dress. So fair. I don't think most people could drop that much on a dress. But when I tried to bring this up with Maddie, she absolutely lost it. She was like, I can't believe people aren't prioritizing my wedding. You know what? If they don't want to spend money on my wedding, that's fine. They're not my real friends. They don't have to be my bridesmaids. As the wedding gets closer, her behavior gets more and more erratic. She is blowing up our group chat, sending texts at like 3 a.m. with vision boards for her wedding saying, if y'all ruin my aesthetic for this wedding, I will kill you and never speak to you again. We were all just like scared to even speak to her because we didn't want to say the wrong thing and have her attack us. One of her other bridesmaids got engaged and she was like, oh my gosh, congrats, but please don't talk about your engagement or the wedding until my wedding's over because this time needs to be about me right now. And Maddie's wedding wasn't for another 7 months. Like, you don't want your friend to be able to talk about her upcoming wedding for 7 months. Even though Maddie was being terrible, I was just kind of letting everything go because I know that weddings can bring out the worst in people. So I was just giving her the benefit of the doubt, but there's a line. Maddie's wedding day comes, and as expected, she is just ordering me around, and I'm doing what she tells me to because I'm just trying to make everything go smoothly. And yeah, she's being terrible the entire day. At one point, she asks me to bring her over her lipstick, but I misheard her and thought she said lip gloss, so I bring her over her lip gloss, and she goes, are you stupid? She goes, grabs her lipstick, and then holds them up and is like, lip gloss? Lipstick. You should know the difference, okay? Maybe don't make that mistake again. It's really embarrassing. Okay, sorry I misheard you. But finally, we get through the ceremony. It goes so smoothly, and I'm like, we're in the clear. The stress is done. We're going to go to the reception, and everything is going to be great. I was wrong. Because I was the maid of honor, I had to give a speech during the reception. I had prepared this speech months in advance and spent so long practicing. It was a beautiful speech about how much Maddie meant to me and our friendship over the years. There was not a dry eye in the house. I did an incredible job. And I was the last speech. So right after I was done, Maddie and her husband got up to address everybody there. Maddie thanks everybody for coming and then says, and I also want to give a huge thank you to my best friend Kels for that amazing speech. Then she continues and says, you know, there are just some people in this world that were born to support other people. You know, like Robin to Batman. And that's Kels. Then she looks me dead in the eye and says, I mean, you know what they say, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But that's okay because you are an incredible bridesmaid. I have never in my life heard a room that silent. She was giggling like it was a funny joke and her husband looked super uncomfortable and I actually just wanted to burst into tears, but obviously everyone was just looking at me because they wanted to see my reaction. I just tried to stay completely emotionless. I waited till her speech was done, till people started getting back up to dance. I grabbed my things and I walked out and I never spoke to her again. Her husband, a lot of her friends, her family have all blown up my phone and said terrible things to me about how I'm a terrible person for not even having a conversation with her. But to be honest with you, if you're going to treat me like that, I don't owe you anything. So maybe I am the villain, but I don't think so.
Story time of when I found out I first started my period. Okay, so this was 2 years ago, which is quite surprising because I'm 16, so like I started pretty late. And it was around these times in the holidays and we were in Paris. Before I continue though, if this is on your For You page, make sure you comment For You page. I'm trying to notice and follow you guys back. Okay, so it was our first day in Paris actually, and we were just traveling around Paris, and like we went to some museum, and all I did was just complain, and my parents didn't understand. When I tell you guys, I was so moody, I was so tired, and I just couldn't be asked to walk around Paris. Everyone was just getting on my nerves, okay? So it comes to like the evening, and we sit down at some restaurant. Everything started to calm down, like I felt so much better, and I was trying to connect to the internet because I had this like argument with my boyfriend at the time, and we basically broke up then. Obviously I didn't tell my parents about it because, like, you know, when you get back together and stuff, like I just didn't want to tell my parents for sure because I wasn't sure as well. So I was like, yeah, that's why I'm moody, like. And I would just like randomly burst out crying for no reason in the middle of the day. It was just actually terrible. We were in the restaurant for quite a while because we were waiting for the Eiffel Tower's lights to come on so we could go see that. So I remember we were waiting quite a while in that restaurant, but I didn't mind it obviously because I had Wi-Fi and I was able to like text my boyfriend. And by the way, the whole plan of the day was to literally spend the day out and then wait till the lights turn on. So I wanted to take pictures, so I dressed up in a nice white tracksuit. So it has got to around 30 minutes before the lights turn on, and we started to make our way to go to the best spot that we could find to see the lights. We were walking as well, so as we're walking, I just feel really weird, like I have to pee, but then it's like I already peed myself, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And once again, I wasn't thinking anything of it, so we went to like this nearest toilet. It was like a public toilet, and obviously I take my pants down, yeah, and guess what I see? Blood, and it's literally coming through my pants. I couldn't believe that my parents didn't see it or didn't tell me. So I take off the hoodie and wrap it around my waist, and then so you can't see the blood stain. And then I go to my mum and I whisper to her and I tell her, please don't tell dad. Like, I was so embarrassed for some reason. I mean, fair enough, but now that I think of it, I would literally tell my dad if I need help, you know what I mean? And my parents keep no secrets in between them. So when I told my mum, she was just trying to find the nearest pharmacy, or like she didn't have any on her, like pads. So she was just trying to find the nearest pharmacy, and my dad was so confused on why. But anyway, so we found the nearest pharmacy and I stayed in the toilet, and then my mum came back to me and we actually made it on time to the Eiffel Tower to like see it shine. And then in the pictures, actually, I have one picture where the blood shows and I was like, oh. But yeah, I got one more tip for you guys. If you ever think you're going to start it or you haven't started it yet and you think you're getting to it, then make sure you carry with you pads anywhere you go. But yeah, if you watched till then, make sure you put the white heart emoji. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Bye.
About how I got cheated on and how I got revenge from it. Okay, so I've talked about this like before. This was a couple years ago, but I don't care to talk about it. Like, entertainment is entertainment, people. Okay, let's get started. So basically, I had this like kind of boyfriend back in the end of 2020, and he kind of lived far away. Like, he didn't live around me or anything, so we didn't really see each other. It was more of like when he came down to see my friends that he knew and my cousin and stuff like that, then I'd hang out with him, and it was a very awkward situation. He like asked me out randomly. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, us were like all hanging out, didn't even really know the kid, whatever. We like FaceTimed here and there, we Snapchatted, we texted like while he was back at home when he wasn't visiting around here. I was supposed to mix my primer with the Stay Beauty Shop, so we're gonna act like I didn't just do my primer, and we're gonna put a little bit more on and mix it. Okay, we're gonna be very quick about this because I'm not gonna like talk y'all's ear off. So basically, he like goes to like this ice cream shop or whatever one day, and mind you, I'm friends with all his friends that I know back here, so like they're all telling me what's going on too. And he unadds me on Snap, okay, randomly unadds me and says he doesn't want to talk to me no more. And I find out because my other friends had him on Snap. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, what are you talking about? He was at an ice cream shop with a girl, on a date with her, like full on a date with a whole different girl, unadded me, everything, and act like I didn't exist no more, and he didn't know who I was. Me and him obviously clearly stopped talking after that and everything, but me and my cousin were like, let's get back at him. We were at her house one day, and we make a fake Instagram account, because mind you, he cheated on me with this girl, so we were gonna see if he would cheat on that girl with a fake girl. So we made this whole like Instagram account, made her like just his type, like the same things he liked. We made her like the same things and everything, and we texted him off of that account, and he fell for it. He literally fell for it. Literally text this girl back, this random girl, and was like, yeah, let's hang out, let's do all these things. I'm like, what the hell? He falls for everything. Mind you, he didn't like have us blocked on Instagram or nothing. So we went on his Instagram, we found the girl that like he cheated on me with. They were obviously together. And mind you, at the time, this was like a week or two later, because the date he went on, he ended up asking her to be his girlfriend. He didn't even technically break up with me, but okay. And I sent her that shit, but I sent it to her off of like the fake account, so like he doesn't know it's me and my cousin. So he doesn't know it's me and my cousin doing it. We snap, we text her the screenshots, everything, and she like reads it. She's kind of like, oh, thank you, girlie, or like, I can't exactly remember because it's been so long exactly what she said, but I know that she for sure said something to him, because I think he texted the account about it, and like, why would you tell my girlfriend, da 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 da. Why would I? Like, later on I found out the same thing he did to me, he did to her. So like, yeah, I'm a girl's girl, I'm gonna tell her what you're doing. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say something to him, like I'm gonna break up with him, whatever. I was gonna use my Say Beauty, but I used my Rhode. I think I'm gonna use this one tomorrow because I love this blush. But so she ends up staying with him, okay? And I'm like, okay, like that's on you. Obviously I can't like make you break up with him. He like told her a bunch of lies as to like why he did it, whatever. She believed him. They stayed together. And then mind you, after all this, like a year or two after, because he's like still followed me on something, I guess I didn't realize it, he remembered me and tried to get with me. Like 2 years after that, I was like, bye-bye. But yeah, that's my little story time. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, baddies.
I never thought I'd have to make a video like this, but get ready with me to go call off my engagement, because I just found out my fiance has been cheating on me for the past 2 years in our relationship. So my fiance and I started dating freshman year of college, which was November 2020, and everything has been good up to this point. Obviously, we got engaged not too long ago. We got engaged around my birthday last year, so September 2023. We've almost been engaged for a year. The wedding wasn't supposed to happen for another year because with just like graduating college and stuff, we kind of wanted to get our adult lives like set up, you know. And I found out a few weeks ago that he has been cheating on me. Also, my blush is coming out super ugly, but I'm gonna fix it, not to worry. So I basically found out because my friend follows this like random girl that I don't know. She doesn't really know, but they're like mutuals on Instagram, and they follow each other. And she started posting like basically soft launching this guy, and my friend would see this and be like, wait, that kind of looks like it could be your boyfriend or your fiance. And I was like, no girl, like it's not him, like all stupid and shit. I was like, no girl, like it's not him, like it could not be this man at all. And she was like, no, like I just have like a weird gut feeling that it's him, so I feel like we should look into this. And I was like, ugh, like fine, like I'll just do it, because I mean, if I had a gut feeling about my friend's like boyfriend or fiance cheating on her, then I would want her to believe me, because a gut feeling is a gut feeling, you know. Anywho, we continued to like try to do our digging, but we didn't really know how or where to even start, until one day this girl posts a picture, and she's like soft launching like her man's like hand or whatever, and in the hand you can see his wrist, and on his wrist is a bracelet that is from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, that I got for my fiance when I went to Brazil a year ago. And I was like, there is no way that casually my friend thinks that this man is my fiance, and there's no way that he's wearing the bracelet that I got for my man. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the connections were too strange. And then just the cherry on top, this girl posted a picture in a car, and lo and behold, it was his car. So that pretty much confirmed it to me that he was cheating on me. And when I saw that, I was in just shock. I didn't really react to it because I was just so in disbelief that this was happening to me. And I didn't really know how to like process my emotions. Like, I was just really confused. Again, like, I didn't know why this was happening to me, especially because our relationship had gone so well to the point where we had decided to get engaged. So I've definitely already had time to like grieve and like mourn my relationship, because there's no way I'm gonna continue to put myself through that kind of disrespect. If he's doing it now, I can't imagine what he's gonna do when we're already married. Like, that's just not gonna fly with me, you know what I mean? And like, I have cheated on him before as well, and like, this would cancel out the cheating, so like, I could get married to him, but like, no, like, things are only okay when I do them. So I'm completely unaware if this girl knows that he is engaged. That's honestly not what I care about right now. I could care less. He fucked up, so I'm breaking up with him, and that's that. So I've been knowing for a few weeks, like I said earlier, but I basically haven't told him anything just because I was going through like graduating college, and like, I just didn't want to, on top of that, have to break up with him. But I also wanted to see how long he would go like gaslighting me and like making me think that he's the best fiance in the world. But motherfucker, like, I know you were cheating on me. Basically, today's my last day in my college town, so I told him that I needed help like moving and just like loading my car, and that I wanted to get breakfast with him before I left. And I actually don't leave until tomorrow, but he works early tomorrow, so I probably wouldn't be able to see him. But that's besides the point. So I told him, oh, like, help me pack my car and let's go get breakfast, which is the least he can do for me, is labor away from me, and that's exactly what I'm gonna make him do. So yeah, but we're gonna go get breakfast, and at breakfast I'm gonna be like, oh, how do you know this girl? And he's basically gonna be like, oh, what do you mean? And I'm gonna be like, oh, like, this girl, blah blah blah. And he's gonna shit his pants, and then I'm gonna be like, I know you've been cheating on me, and we're calling off the engagement, we're not getting married, we're breaking up. And he's, knowing him, oh my goodness, he's gonna try to fight like for me. He's gonna be like, no, like, I want you, like, you're the only one for me, like, I acted, that was like not good judgment. And I'm gonna be like, well, sucks to suck, but I've already made up my decision, and it wasn't that big anyways.
Alright, today I'm gonna do my first kiss story time. I literally didn't have my first kiss until I was 18. It was so embarrassing that when I graduated high school, I literally asked the school thought, like, this boy was like known for messing around, if he would just be my first kiss, so that when I went to college, I wouldn't be like this weirdo who's never even kissed anyone. And he was like, yes, bet. But then he got really weird and horny and tried to do other stuff, and I was like, no thank you. So I didn't even end up kissing him. So I'm still like 18, graduated, and still no first kiss. Then fast forward, I meet this boy, we end up talking, and we almost talking for like 2 months, still no kiss. I was like, is he not interested in me? We're in the car, and I'm like, all right, I'm about to break out the moves. Like, I'm just gonna do this. Like, I've been wanting to kiss this guy for a while, and like, he like hugged me and stuff goodbye a couple times, and I thought he was gonna kiss me, and he didn't. And like, we even texted it, and I was like, I thought you were gonna kiss me. Or like, he would say like, I wanted to kiss you so bad, and I'm like, well, why didn't you kiss me? And so anyways, so we're in his car, he's dropping me off at my apartment, and I was like, all right, like, stay still and close your eyes, I want to try something. Ew! Literally, I saw that in Twilight when Edward did that to Bella, like, and when they kissed, and I was like, that's a good idea, I'm gonna try that. And he was like, wait, I don't want to kiss you until we're official, because I know you've never had like a first kiss, so like, I want it to be like special for you to be like with your first boyfriend. And I was like, bet. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, because I liked him so much too at the time. And then he ended up grabbing me as soon as I said that and like kissed me. And he put his tongue to my throat, and it was really gross. And I feel like he said later on that he was trying to impress me because I never had a kiss before. And then he overdid it, and then we were like, ah. And then after that, the kiss was, like, our second kiss was much better. But it was really gross. And then while we're kissing, the cops came up and knocked on the door. Like, I knocked on the car door and were like, is everything all right in here? And I was just like, and then, like, we were like, oh, and then, like, they left, and then we laughed about it, and then I just, like, ran inside, and it was really embarrassing, but it was actually really funny.
Visiting your in-laws and living with your in-laws are 100% two different things. Let me share my experience with you. So I was, like, probably 2 to 3 months pregnant, and my boyfriend's family, well, parents, they told us, like, hey, like, tell her if she wants to move in with us, like, we'll take care of her. We'll get her cravings that she wants while you are at work. So I know what you're gonna say, like, why did you even move in the first place? My mom was working like every single day from morning to night. So if I needed anything or if I was throwing up or anything, my mom couldn't help me. So I was just like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not a bad idea. I want to say like the very first month, everything was perfect. You know, there was no problems, no anything, right? Until I guess I started opening up to my mother-in-law about, you know, like stuff that has happened to me, because I already thought that we were getting to a really nice relationship, and she was telling me stuff and I was telling her stuff. She proceeded to made a very snarky comment about my mom, and obviously that enraged me. I didn't even want to finish the conversation, so I went upstairs to, you know, me and my boyfriend's room, and I immediately called him. I was like, hey, your mom said this, and if you don't tell her anything, I swear to God, I will be leaving this goddamn house and not coming back. I ended up staying in the room for like the rest of the day because I knew that if I would go out and see her, I was gonna eventually say something to her. But my boyfriend ended up coming home, and he spoke to her in her room. And ever since that day, like, our relationship has never ever been the same ever again. To this day, my boyfriend still defends me. You know, he has my back when it comes to his mom. There was also various times where she would talk bad. I don't like try to cuss, but she would talk bad about every single person that is in her life. Like, she would talk bad about my boyfriend, her own son, and her other son, which is my boyfriend's older brother. She would talk so much bad about him. And then to me, it's just like, well, if you're talking bad about your literal family, what makes me think that you're not talking bad about me towards, you know, other people? She is definitely one of those people who would talk to you to your face all good, but when it comes to like behind your back, she would talk the most bad about you. And I'm not even done. Like, I still need to get on my father-in-law. So when my boyfriend told me this, I actually teared up. So my boyfriend and his dad work in the same company, but when they go and do jobs, they're like in different job sites, okay? So obviously there's like women there. They have cleaning ladies, and they're all like above 30, and my boyfriend is like the youngest one there. But the thing is that their co-workers, if they see you talking to one of the cleaning ladies, they automatically assume like, oh, like you like her, you're doing this, you're doing that. And my boyfriend had to talk to one of the cleaning ladies for a job site. My father-in-law ended up seeing them talking for literal seconds, and my father-in-law proceeds to come up to him and tell him, if you want to hang out with her, just tell Maria that, you know, you are gonna work late, you know, so you don't get caught. My boyfriend literally told him like, what the fuck, like, I'm not gonna be doing that shit. Basically what I'm trying to say is basically like his dad was encouraging him like, hey, like, it's okay, like, she doesn't have to know. He doesn't know that I know because my boyfriend told me. We do try not to like go over to their house as much because I just do not feel comfortable at all being over there. But I am honestly grateful for my boyfriend, because the second that I told him like, hey, I do not feel comfortable here anymore, I want to leave, and he immediately like got us a place.
I worked at Priceline for 4.5 years, so believe me when I tell you that I have some stories. But anyone who doesn't know what Priceline is, it's an Australian thing. It's just a beauty, well-being and health store. The Priceline I worked at is closed down now. We were a very small store, and it was not in the best area, and we were extremely understaffed. We dealt with a lot of theft in that store. Almost every day we were having some kind of issue. The worst theft experience I had at that store was probably a few months before I left. My assistant manager was on her lunch break. We had one lady up at the till who was helping someone in the vitamins aisle, and I had popped to the bathroom. In this very short period of time, 2 women came into our store, somehow managed to shimmy one of the glass doors off of the fragrance cabinet and stole, I think it was up to $2,000 worth of fragrances. And I remember coming back from the bathroom, going into the cosmetics aisle, seeing the door hanging off and just an empty cabinet, and my heart dropped to the pit of my stomach. And surprise, surprise, they completely got away with it. I remember one evening when it was myself and my assistant manager, we were closing the store. I was cashing up all the tills, I was counting the safe, and my assistant manager was just closing up the doors and like making sure everything was all sorted for the end of day. We were completely closed, the lights were off, all the tills were at the back. And then all of a sudden, we're both at the back and we hear someone trying to open the front door. We both immediately panic. My assistant manager goes to the front of the store to see who's opening the door. I'm at the back freaking out because I've got all the money laid out. And this older guy is trying to open the door and he's like, hello, are you open? Are you open? Like I said, lights are off, doors closed, no one's in the store. You can't see a single staff member because both of us are at the back. And my 2IC goes to the front and she's like, no, sorry, we're closed. And he's like, oh, I need a perfume for my daughter. And she was like, well, sorry, we're closed. Like, we can't process any transactions right now. And he's like, oh, well, and he's still trying to open the door at this point. And he's like, oh, well, can you just check this perfume for me? Shows her a photo of the perfume. Oh, what's the price? What's the price? She goes, checks the price, tells him. And then he's just kind of like lingering, like he's not really going away. And still to this day, like, I don't know if he was just genuinely ignorant or maybe if he was up to something. There was this one time where we had a free gift with purchase going on and we didn't get sent the stock of the free gift. And this woman comes in with her husband and she's wanting the free gift. But we didn't have it, and I'm trying to explain to her that we don't have it. But she was being so rude, and then her husband was harping on and he was kicking up a fuss. So I end up giving her free products just to get her out of the shop. Anyway, about a week or so later, this woman ends up writing a complaint to our customer service saying how staff aren't trained properly and how no one was aware of the gift with purchase, so on and so forth, which wasn't true. We were all aware of it, we just didn't have any stock of it. Another thing Priceline is known for is they often have like a lot of clearance or they mark down their products. I remember this one year in particular, we had all these fragrances that had been marked down. Some of them were marked down to quite a lot. So one day this lady comes in and she's wanting to buy a perfume and she's wanting to get one of the clearance perfumes. However, we didn't have a tester for it. This woman was really dead set on trying to smell the fragrance, but we just had to explain to her, like, we're so sorry, we don't have a tester for it. She decides to buy it anyway, but because of her being so dead set on smelling it, the girl working at the till was really clear in explaining to her that once you buy it and you open it and you spray it, it is non-refundable. Like, we cannot put it back on the shelf and sell it again. So what does this woman do? Right there and then, in that moment, standing at the counter, buys it, opens it, sprays it, says she doesn't like the scent, wants to return it. This girl is explaining to her again, I'm so sorry, like, we can't refund it. This is what I explained to you earlier. The woman's not happy. She starts kicking up a fuss. They get my supervisor to go down. She is explaining the exact same thing, like, we're so sorry, we can't do anything about it. The woman starts kicking up even more of a fuss. They have to get my store manager down to then again explain the exact same thing all over. This woman then proceeds to start screaming at all of the girls standing at the till. She's standing there yelling, I'm right, you're wrong, give me my money back, I'm right, you're wrong. She ends up absolutely losing it, grabs another perfume puts it in her trolley, goes to storm out of the store. My supervisor runs after her, steps in front of her and tries to stop her. This woman rams into my supervisor with her trolley and then ends up just running away and getting away with it.
How I caught my boyfriend of 7 years cheating on me. So what you're gonna do, first of all, okay, so you go to the profile. He left his extra phone behind. So Joe, if you're seeing this, yeah, that's how. You go to their Apple iCloud, you go to subscriptions, it's gonna take a while. So my subscriptions, Raya, ChatGPT, CapCut, Instagram, Tinder expired. So I was wrong on that. It's just Raya. Sorry, it's hard to talk. This is just really shocking. So what's crazy to me, Joe, is that you're paying for Raya Plus when you should be really paying for LinkedIn Plus because, boy, you need a job. A J-O-B job. So I texted him, like, you need to have your stuff out by December 1st. No response, right? I just find it hilarious that he was offering all of these girls to take them out to dinners. He hasn't taken me out to dinner in a really long time. Said he couldn't afford it. Couldn't plan anything to go to the beach. And I was like, I'm gonna ride or die for this guy. Yeah, it's been 7 years. Oh my god. Crazy because, like, I do everything around the house. I reorganize the closet for him, decorate the place. I'm the one hiring the electrician, putting up the Christmas lights. Like, there were a lot of signs, I think, that I just, like, red flags that I was like, oh, I can't see. Okay. He was hitting people up while visiting family, like right now. It was literally like 5 hours ago in Michigan. Half in Michigan, by the way. You're not in LA anymore. Other things that I found were he lied. He had fake bank statements to get his car. Yeah, to get the Porsche, it was his dad's bank account because they have the same name. Found that one out. That was, you could probably go to jail for that. I don't know. This video is going to be all over the place because my brain is all over the place. ADHD plus getting cheated on, it's kind of a lot. Anyways, I let my parents read all the messages this morning and my dad was like, how does this guy have the fucking time, dude? We all read them. We're like, wow. Did not see that coming. So another crazy thing is he didn't respond to my message, right? But he wrote into Raya and let them know. He said, I'm very upset with the app. This has disrupted my life greatly. I'm so sorry that this disrupted your life. Then he also sent another email to them, apparently, that said, hey, please, I need immediate help. I'm being slandered and account is being controlled by a hacker. He was always like, why is my karma so bad? I don't understand. Oh my God. Well, there you go, babe. There you go. Karma is cheating on your girlfriend and getting caught and then just like doing everything except taking ownership and like blaming an app. That's like, oh, wow. Wow. But one of the best things about this is while we're in Europe, he's messaging girls, right? On a trip I paid for. He's messaging girls while we're out there. While he goes to visit his grandparents in Miami, he's messaging girls like, oh, should I extend my flight? Like, yeah, Joe, extend your flight. You should stay longer. Maybe you should take him to Komodo, the place that was by my condo you loved. And, yeah, all the places I showed you, just go show them. Have fun with that, babe. Play Olivia Rodrigo. Deja vu. I actually haven't cried yet because I think I'm just in shock and so disgusted. Like, he was matching with 21-year-olds. He's 36. 21-year-olds. He was also matching with girls who worked in the music industry, trying to, like, be one of those creepy dudes who's like, you know, I have accolades. Like, okay, kind of in a rush now, but I can show you guys screenshots because obviously he screenshotted everything. Just also so funny because he's had time to ban my last TikTok I made on this. He reported it, but there was nothing wrong with it, so it's back up. And he has time to report that but not respond to my text about moving out. So if you're watching this, you could hit up my dad or anyone in my family, discuss moving out. Bada boom, bada bing. I also took the time to add some photos of us to his profile, but he also had time to delete those, so. And yes, this is the same boyfriend that kicked me out last time because I went protesting with Harry Styles and he didn't like that I was getting any like articles. He was like really mad about the articles and called me a clout chaser. He was mad that I went to BLM protest and then he went the next day. Lessons were learned the hard way. I have some work to do. I will fill you in later tonight though. Yeah. Shook it. That was a very long circle of karma. Him kicking me out 3 years ago and